A young woman and her family are experiencing a series of misfortunes. What force is driving the poor soul to the other world? Don't miss out. The psychics will expose a demon's lair. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of true and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate intricate criminal cases and incredible mystical anomalies. "20-year-old Olena Kolesnichenko lives in the Kiev region. For the past 3 months, her family has been plagued by mortal danger.
I was beaten and cut, my brother had a bleeding ulcer, and my mom had a car accident. Now there are just 2 of us left. I'm afraid for my and my brother's lives."
Olena's brother, Dima, almost bled to death while she miraculously survived a brutal attack by assailants. However, their mother died in the accident. Olena suspects that a dark force is behind all these misfortunes. She claims that lately, something terrifying and unbelievable has been going on in their house.
It's so scary. We heard hoofbeats before Mom's death. And my brother saw devils with horns there.
Before Olena and her brother suffer irreparable harm, our project's experts, psychics Kayal Alekperov and Larissa Mohila, go to meet them. Larissa Mohila reads information with the help of her tarantula, named 13.
I sense a powerful entity. It has huge wings. It embraces a person with those wings, and then the person disappears.
And I see a man holding something sharp. Oh God, he's slitting his own throat.
I see a woman now. She's conducting a terrifying and dangerous ritual. I get it now. The woman is invoking this entity to serve her, but she can't control it. It seems she's destroying everyone around her by wielding the entity. But who she is, and what power she commands, I can't comprehend right now.
Pull over, please. What a strange place. The force I feel seems to be bound to it. I think we'll return here later today.
The psychics arrive at Olena and her brother's home.
Hello.
Hello?
Let us tune in.
What I sense now is a little terrifying. Look what I got from the cards. This is the demon Lucifer. This is the most terrifying card in the deck. It's clear that Olena and her brother are in danger. I sense an entity with huge wings. And the wings seem to have feathers and claws. They encircle you and want to take you with them.
Something is choking me, preventing me from working.
I feel those clawed wings. They're around your neck, trying to strangle you.
The entity is powerful. Not to frighten Olena, I tried to keep myself together. I decided to drive the entity away from the yard so that it wouldn't harm anyone else. To do this, I summoned all my jinns.
What was it?
An entity with wings and horns is circling over the house.
I don't even understand what it is. It's changing its appearance all the time.
I'm so confused. I see 2 men. They're arguing. One of them has a knife. I don't know how all this is connected to you, Olena. I kept seeing a kaleidoscope of images. Different murders, men, women. Then I saw a woman invoking an evil entity. But I couldn't figure out how it all fit together. I sense that your mother is no longer alive.
No, she died. It happened last year.
According to the official version by the police, Olena was killed in an accident. She rode her scooter and collided with a cyclist 13 kilometers from the village. As a result of the collision, the cyclist was not injured, while Olena suffered a head injury.
Olena's mother slipped into a coma. For all 7 days that the woman was unconscious, her daughter was by her side. She hoped until the very end that her dearest person in the world would survive. But fate had other plans. Olena's mother died from brain hemorrhage. It's hard to imagine what this young woman went through, as her mother literally died in her arms.
It's unbearably hard.
And your brother also had a misfortune. I feel pain here.
Yes, he had an ulcer. He came home from work and said he had a stomachache. We called an ambulance and they hospitalized him.
The doctors were shocked that the young man even walked, claiming he could have died had he waited a few more hours.
And I also feel that you were looking for a job, but you were deceived.
Yes, it's true.
Olena worked as a cashier in one of the capital's supermarkets and was looking for a side work. A colleague told her he knew where she could earn good money, and the prospect employer would give her all the details.
I went to meet that woman, and she told me I would have to be a prostitute. Naturally, I refused.
But Olena couldn't even imagine what trouble she got into.
I see a forest and 2 men. You're shouting as one of them is holding a knife.
Yes, it's true.
The people who offered Olena to be a prostitute took her out of the city.
I see wounds. The wounds are right here, and the knife, like this. Many times, you're being stabbed.
Yes. These are knife scars.
What a chilling revelation. It's hard to even imagine what poor Olena was through.
Olena was severely beaten and sustained 9 knife wounds. Thinking she was dead, the attackers left. Miraculously, Olena survived. She crawled to the nearest village.
I found someone's country house. The people called an ambulance and the police. I remember the police coming, and then I blacked out.
It's a miracle Olena survived, but the pain and fear from her ordeal have never left her ever since.
The people who abused you, they were caught.
Yes.
Everything that happened to Olena is beyond comprehension. It's no wonder she is afraid of dying and wants to know the cause of the horrors that are befalling her family.
The things that happened to your mother, brother, and you are linked to the dark force that's circling here.
The spirit of Olena's mother approached me several times, repeating, "The woman is to blame. Find the woman."
To understand what this force is, I need to go to the place where your mother died.
This is where Mom crashed.
I need to perform a ritual. I wanted my jinns to show me in the flames where the entity came from, but the fire wouldn't hold. I sense the presence of several spirits here. They're over there. I see 2 men. They're Muslims. It seems they knew your mother. I see an argument, a knife, and blood.
Behind the souls that Kayal just described, I see the entity with the huge wings.
The men I see came here from far away. It seems they arrived to work here.
They rented a house here. They made dried plums. Their boss was stabbed to death.
It happened in a nearby village. In one of the buildings, there was an illegal candy production line.
The victim was around 40 years old and of Tajik nationality. His face and neck had 18 stab wounds.
But how is this horrific murder connected to what's happening in Olena's family?
We need to go there and see the house where the murder occurred.
After the brutal murder in the illegal confectionery, the production stopped. The building stands locked.
Larissa, do you remember I told you we'd return here? This house is somehow connected to what's happening in Olena's family. We need to get inside. I feel aggression pouring out of the place, and I also sense the presence of an otherworldly entity.
This is Maria. She lives next door and keeps an eye on the house. She used to make candies when the confectionery was open. Maria goes to get the keys to the house.
The death of Olena's mother, the attack on her, her brother's illness, and the murder in this house are all connected. The force we sensed somehow changed the life of each of those people. But why did it choose them? Why did they suffer? And did it in such different ways? Now I see two men arguing over something trivial. They're talking about a woman, and then one of them seems to try to run away.
One man was a constant worker at the confectionery. His name was Shekrukam, but the locals called him simply Shurik. The murdered man was his boss, named Alim. After the body was found, Shekrukam disappeared. The man hid in the nearby grove for several hours, but it was cold outside and he froze quickly. So he returned to the house and hid in the attic. The next morning, he turned himself in to the police and confessed to killing his boss.
I sensed that they started arguing here.
The first man, the older one, said something that provoked the conflict.
He said the boss said something about his mom. So he punched him in the shoulder. A fight started. The boss ran outside, but he caught him and finished him there.
He lived here for 8 months. He was a good fellow.
I couldn't believe he did it.
Nevertheless, the man's guilt was proven, and he was sentenced to 11 years in prison.
The force we sensed seemed to push the young man towards murder. It resides in this house, and sooner or later, it changes the life of everyone who ends up here.
I also worked there, and so did Mom.
This is something unbelievable. Could the lives of other people be in danger? But where did the entity come from? What is it doing here? Who summoned it?
Larissa, an elderly woman's spirit, has appeared. I need to go into the house. I hear the woman screaming and see a man standing next to her.
He was doing something around the house, helping her. The man didn't live here. Then, suddenly, something like a veil covered the man's eyes and blinded him. The woman grabs her head, screams, several blows, a blow to the head.
It turned out that several years ago, another murder took place in this house. The previous owner, an elderly woman, was killed.
Ola Jivotok stopped answering the calls from her daughter who lives in Kiev. Fearing for her elderly mother, the woman immediately arrived, but she didn't find her mother at home and called the police.
A week later, the investigators found the body. It lied in a grove several kilometers from the house. The woman died from a head injury.
The victim's daughter informed the police that her mother used a mobile phone, and the detectives located it. It was at a market where a man from the same village as the victim was trying to sell it. He immediately confessed.
My book shows me that the man was possessed by an evil spirit which ordered him to kill the old woman.
The psychic is right. You are watching the police footage of the suspect confessing to the crime.
I heard a voice saying she was a sinner and deserved punishment.
The culprit lived on the same street as the elderly woman. He was married and had 3 children. The locals still can't believe he could commit murder.
When they told us it was him, no one could believe it.
It's incredible because both the man who killed his boss and the one who murdered the elderly woman were always calm, polite, non-confrontational, and completely normal people. It gives the impression that something otherworldly indeed influenced them.
He was an absolutely sane family man, but then he said a voice from above told him to do it.
After a psychological evaluation, Olha Zivotok's murderer was deemed insane and sent to a mental health clinic for treatment.
The evil entity lives in this house and affects everyone who has ever been here. The dark force we sensed was summoned by a woman who couldn't control it. The demon proved stronger and cleverer than her, and she also suffered at its hands. Who lived in this house before?
I see a woman doing something with her hands. Like she's sewing or embroidering something.
It turned out that the first owner of this house was a village seamstress.
She lived here for a long time.
Just a moment. Wait.
What's going on?
God, what happened?
When we ran to the room where that strange sound came from, neither I nor Larissa could enter it. It seemed like some force was pushing us out. It was trying to drive us away.
She guards this house. And now she's crying. She had 2 sons. A rope. The sons seemingly hanged themselves.
The locals say the seamstress had 3 children, a daughter and 2 sons. The boys indeed died by hanging in their youth, while their mother was still alive, while her daughter, after all those misfortunes, sold the house and left.
Her husband also has something wrong with his throat. His throat, only blood drips from it, as if it were cut.
He slit his own throat.
It was the man I'd seen in my vision at the beginning of the investigation. But I hadn't understood what it all meant then.
She shows me she's sticking a needle into a doll, right into the heart. And I see needles, candles, and different ritual objects in her hands. She worked with demons.
The locals say the seamstress befriended the devil and, like all witches, died a terrible death.
She was dying in great pain. They even dismantled the ceiling in her house so she could die.
She's showing me her actions. She draws a circle, a summoning symbol. This is a seal of summoning. She addresses dark forces, and they help her.
This was the same woman we'd seen before the investigation. She summoned the terrible force that killed her children and husband, and later took more lives.
I hear the words of summoning the demon, and he comes to her, the demon she summoned.
Larissa, the demon, has appeared next to us again. The woman summoned him, but she couldn't control him. I was shocked. The demon stood right behind us. But what's most horrifying is that he went and stood behind Olena.
What does he want?
This is the entity the seamstress summoned during the ritual. He deceived her. During the ritual, something fell somewhere, and when she ran to pick it up, she stepped out of the circle and interrupted the ritual. So the demon stayed in our world. He wraps anyone who enters his territory in his wings, and when he lets go of them, they change completely. He can change their life, or take it all together.
We need to save the people who have been here. After all, the demon can intervene in anyone's life at any moment.
I need the mirror hanging in the house. I must immediately seal the demon. When I begin the ritual, nobody should talk to me.
The light's out. But why?
There will be no more deaths from the power of this demon. When I perform a ritual, the camera shouldn't record it. As long as the camera is running, my candles won't light properly. Look, the matches go out too. There will be no more deaths from the power of this demon.
I stopped shivering.
Thank you so much.
Olena turned to the psychics to understand why the house was ruining her family's life. However, it turned out there were others affected too. The cause of all the misfortunes was not the house, but magical rituals performed improperly.
After the psychics visited me, I feel a lot better. It's like a load off my shoulders.
If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more astonishing investigations by the psychics are coming up. A demon from the other world takes family away, members one by one. Don't miss out. The psychics will find who summoned the evil entity. But can they stop death? This woman's family is asking the psychics for help. Being 35, Ina Kochube says that her life is over.
I died with my child.
Ina's son, Anatoly, died under mysterious circumstances. It happened on the railway tracks, in the town where the family lives.
A train hit my son. He was 17. I only lived for him.
Ina's older sister, Jana, says there's no formal crossing at the place where it happened. Yet the locals usually cross the tracks there. For many years, Anatoly also walked this path. That evening, he was returning home as usual.
Ina called him and he said, "Yes, Mom, I'll be home soon."
It was their last conversation, after which the boy stopped answering the calls.
Later, a policeman answered the phone and said Anatoly was dead.
The teenager who regularly crossed the railway tracks to and from home knew the train schedule well. Furthermore, when he saw him on the tracks, the train driver sounded the horn loud for a long time. Did Anatoly really see or hear nothing?
The police said it was an accident.
The train driver told the police that the young man seemed frozen on the track.
The driver said he was just standing there, as if something were holding him in place.
There are no witnesses to the tragedy, but everyone around heard the endless, piercing train horn.
He was pulled here from over there. It's about 20-30 meters.
No alcohol or drugs were found in Anatoly's blood. The investigators concluded it wasn't suicide, and the family insists he had no reason to do it. Anatoly graduated from school successfully and aspired to develop himself.
He was very talented, and he wanted to be a sound engineer.
I miss my child. I'd give anything to hear his voice.
But the most terrifying part is that this is the third death in the family within a short period. First, Ina's beloved husband passed away. The man died at 37 from a sudden heart attack.
The only thing I could say was, it's impossible.
The woman stayed alone, strangely, but on the same day, 3 months later, her sister's husband died too. He was also 37, and his heart suddenly stopped as well.
I feel desolated and miss him terribly.
The women are convinced the evil entity, looking like a werewolf, is killing the men in their family. Each sister sees it at her home.
It's like an animal covered in fur, yet it resembles a human.
Some kind of werewolf.
The horrifying otherworldly creature appears before each death in the family occurs, as if it's mocking the sisters.
It choked me and laughed.
I start praying, but I can't utter the prayer. And I only hear the eerie laughter.
The mother didn't believe her daughters for a long time until she witnessed this ominous entity with her own eyes at her home.
It's like some kind of beast. It strangled me and I couldn't get up or scream.
The women had their homes consecrated, bought protective talismans, hung horseshoes, and even consulted village seers to banish the evil entity, but all in vain.
Our family is dying out, like someone is finishing us off.
Now, the women worry about the remaining men in the family, their father, brother, and especially the youngest family member, Jana's son.
Losing your child is the worst thing imaginable.
Recently, 12-year-old Sasha narrowly escaped death. Someone invisible pushed him when he was at home, and he fell and hit his temple on the corner of a table.
He had a huge bruise on his head. It was awful.
The doctors said Sasha was lucky. If the impact had been a centimeter lower, he wouldn't be alive.
Please come and help us.
Azerbaijani psychic Kayal Alekbarov and Ukrainian clairvoyant Jana Shulikova agreed to help. On the eve of the investigation, Kayal arrived in Ukraine. On his way from the airport, he decided to call his colleague to discuss what he sensed.
My jinns showed me a strange clock without hands and with strange symbols instead of numbers. Suddenly, the clock burst into flames. My jinns also showed me a woman's hand with a glinting needle, and they said, "Beware of the third yes."
Needles are often used in dark rituals, but what kind of werewolf is haunting the family? Let's find out. Reveal yourself.
Zana, it's behind you.
The next moment, it flung by me and seemed to enter the tablet screen like a portal.
We still don't know how to explain it, but the driver who was transporting the psychic and his translator suddenly fainted.
Are you all right?
Our driver fainted, right after you summoned the entity. I barely kept control of the vehicle.
The werewolf didn't want us to interfere.
The next morning, the psychics are ready to proceed with their investigation.
Yesterday, I saw the spirit of a man in the mirror, the same man whose death I predicted many years ago when I was in Zakarpattia region. He was a young man. When I looked at him, I saw him lying, covered in blood at the feet of a woman. I remember warning him back then, "Be careful, you might die young."
Why did he come to see you now?
He said, "Tell her the whole truth. She's suffering greatly." It's weird that his spirit appeared while I was working with the photo of the family. They're somehow connected.
Hello?
I'm so grateful you've come.
Indeed, the werewolf-looking evil entity is involved in all the deaths in your family. But I never suspected that its appearance was linked to a horrifying murder.
What's that strange sound?
Wait.
Someone's knocking.
Like a bird pecking at a window pane. He's crying and...
Jana? Do you see a spirit?
Yes.
Who's that?
He's tall, dark-haired and thin.
That's my husband.
He says he knocked on your window before.
Yes, yes.
It turns out that after Ole's death, Jana and her son indeed heard strange knocking on the window at night.
My son and I woke up because someone was knocking on the window.
He says, "My kitty."
That's what he used to call me.
He's standing next to you. His hands are on your shoulders.
I felt him hugging me. I'll never forget you.
Your late husband wants to protect his son from this evil force.
He's telling me to look for a house with 2 dogs.
That's probably my mother's house.
The entity appeared there. Can we go there?
Yes.
My name is Larissa. This is my husband.
The spirit of Jana's husband brought us here.
He was like a son to us.
Come in.
Did you just hear the laughter? It was inhuman, eerie laughter.
Yes, someone laughed.
Apart from Jana and me, only those whom the entity was hunting heard its laughter, and the laughter sent chills down my spine.
I'm trembling.
The entity feeds on grief and despair. Let's go inside quickly. I see the spirit of a young man. It's your grandson, who died under the train. Where is his mother?
She's here, but she's very unwell. She doesn't wish to live.
Your grandson's spirit says, "Tell Mom not to cry. She must continue living. I love her very much, and I love all of you."
Anatoly, my dear.
We love you very much, our dear boy.
He says, "This animosity makes you weak. Enough of it." I don't really understand what's going on. Anatoly, who did you see before your death?
What kind of entity is that?
Where did it come from?
Anatoly is showing me a needle.
Did you find any hidden needles here?
My husband did.
1 needles, and then another tucked in like that.
It's possible the entity was bound to them.
Do you suspect anyone of this?
Yes, her name is Caleria.
Caleria is Larissa's best friend. During the celebration of her husband's birthday, while everyone was at the table, she, for some reason, went to this room, and then they found the needles hidden in the wallpaper.
Since then, all these misfortunes began.
The women haven't spoken for 10 years since the incident with the needles.
Your friend is connected to magic. I see books next to her.
She had some nasty spells in them.
She has a special room there with candles.
She practices witchcraft. That's why we suspect her.
Let's go to see her.
As soon as everyone stepped into the yard, it started snowing, and Jana Shulikova inexplicably froze in place.
I see that young man again.
The one from Zakarpattia?
Yes. He's not related to you.
Not related?
He said, "You'll learn the truth about my death from her." He's pointing at Larissa.
Who is he?
Jana, let's first deal with that woman.
Hello. We're here to help this family. You know them, don't you?
Of course I do.
You visited this family's house, and then they found some needles there.
I definitely didn't do it.
I came into the room, and you were sitting there alone, weren't you?
Honestly, I don't remember that. I never did any magic at all.
But I sense you did magic.
I recited prayers to ward off the evil eye.
Not just prayers, but also spells. But, Larissa, it wasn't your friend who summoned the entity.
Thank you, Kayal. I carried this burden for 10 years. I can only offer my condolences for your grief. I never wished any harm to you.
Now nothing spoils your friendship again.
We miss each other. Larissa, thank you so much.
But who left those needles then?
Kayal Alekperov asked for a few minutes to work with his sacred book.
A woman who used to be your neighbor brought the needles to the house. But the charm didn't work.
It has no connection to the terrible deaths in the family.
And then my jinn showed me the strange clock without hands again.
He had a dream about a clock.
It had little coffins instead of the hands.
I feel it's connected to your house. We need to go back there.
There he is. Stop.
What happened, Jana? Is that the dead boy from Zakarpattia?
He's lying on the ground covered in blood. He was killed, Kayal.
He was killed right on this spot.
But what does the spirit want from the psychics? And what does all this have to do with the family?
Her son killed him. This blood is on your family's hands.
Sasha did it.
The tragedy happened right here. But how come Larissa's son killed someone?
It happened because of a girl.
He wanted to protect her.
That evening, Alexander and his friends saw two men trying to rob a young girl.
We saw the girl crying. One started running away and the other was rummaging through her purse. We didn't intend to kill them. The things just got too heated.
You stood up for the woman and a fight started, right?
The fight started and ended right here.
That's why in my vision, I saw the dead young man next to a woman.
Was one of the victims from Zakarpattia?
Yes, he was somewhere from the west.
I heard him promise his mother a lot of money before leaving home. His friend called him with him, saying he needed to collect a debt, but it was actually a planned robbery. When the friend attacked the girl, the young man from Zakarpattia was shocked.
He ran away because he got scared.
He wasn't a robber.
He keeps coming because the mother considers him a criminal.
He wanted us to tell the truth. But I sense that you believe the deaths in your family might be connected to this murder.
Yes. We thought Sasha's sin affected our entire family.
This idea occurred to the family members after Larissa's grandson tragically died on the railway track. It happened on the date when, 13 years ago, his uncle committed the murder.
The fact that Tolya died on November 4th and that Sasha killed those men on November 4th, could it really be a coincidence?
No, it's not a coincidence.
For my sins. My mother blames me too.
The family members turned into enemies.
My mother thinks I'm her enemy because I support Sasha.
The entity preying on men in your family appeared shortly after the murder. There is a connection between these two events.
The young man's spirit told me, return to their house.
The murdered man's spirit is showing me an image from the past. I see this room. There's a table and candles burning. And on the table, there's a round board with letters.
People summoning spirits.
Ina summoned a spirit. She drew a circle and wrote letters and moved a needle.
Why did you summon the spirit?
To ask when Sasha would be released.
The woman says she and her sister loved their brother and were deeply concerned when he was arrested. To find out if Alexander really killed someone and what would happen to him, they took a desperate step and decided to summon a supernatural force.
The board is often used during spirit summoning sessions. When the spirit responds, it moves the needle on a thread, pointing at the letters to spell out words.
He answered us letter by letter.
That's why you saw the clock of death in your dream.
We drew the board like a clock face.
We wanted to talk to my mother.
But that wasn't your mother's spirit at all. What did it say when it came?
I will take your soul.
Who did the sisters summon from the other world that he threatened to take their souls?
Oh, Lord.
To even understand this, we need a séance. We need a table, paper, and a marker. Was it like this?
Yes.
We need to open the window. It will be our portal.
Who are you? Come to us.
It moved on its own. The needle. It was responding.
Are you here? Yes. Do you want to talk? Yes. Are you an entity? No. Are you a demon?
Dear God. The window slammed shut.
It's horrendous. The candle toppled. There can be a fire.
The women summoned a demon.
Help us, please.
We must send the demon back to the other world.
Using fire and the needle, I was supposed to summon the demon. And the family members were to offer him a ransom.
He's here. I see his horns.
I see the horns too.
Give him the ransom, quick.
Throw it.
The demon refused from the ransom. He tried to attack with fire.
Oh, dear God.
Kayal, you're bleeding.
Blood is what the demon wants. The demon accepted my blood. I see the spirit of your grandson, Larissa. He says, I can't bear to watch you argue. The murder committed by my uncle separated you and made you enemies.
The women can't hold back tears because it's true.
We're really enemies. It hurts so much.
It's painful to see. Our family is falling apart.
Family means protection, and only together you can resist any evil force.
I'm so grateful to you.
Thank you.
This is simply horrifying. A random crime destroyed a once happy family, but we hope that thanks to the psychics, these people can become close to one another again. If this story impressed you, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more incredible investigations are coming up.